All right, it's about Thursday throwback again. It's a beautiful time and moment where you have an opportunity to look back. And why you look back? Because you want to measure your level of progress. This morning, something interesting happened as I was preparing to take my princess to school. Normally, as always, she was on time and at par. And she stepped out of the door and got into the car. She said, "Dad, I'm going to go and warm up the car." I guess she wanted to warm up the car. So I got ready, jump into the car, and our way to school, a few miles away from home, she's telling me that she forgot her dancing shoes. Luckily, we were about on the roundabout. So I figure, you know what, it's going to take a few minutes. So I just loop up the roundabout and return back so that we can go home and pick up the shoes. And she's informed me, she's like, "But I can dance." And she was trying to talk herself out of needing the shoes, that she can dance with her socks, she can dance with the shoes that she has. But we'd already looped it back home. And she was concerning that she might be late. And we got home, she got her shoes, and we hopped back on the road. And yes, as we were heading back to the freeway, we saw the traffic seems to be much deeper than before. So she got into this situation where she felt like she's going to be late. She got into a mood and she started talking about, oh, she's going to be late. It's not good for her to be late and everything else. But there, I had an opportunity to say, the reason we're going to be late is because you forgot the shoes. If you had not forgotten the shoes, we had left home early on time. And that was my right to exercise. But guess what? Why looking back is important? Because that was me a few years ago. I would have been quick to point that the whole thing is her fault. So my mind looked back and saw how I would have responded in that moment 10 years ago, if that was a situation. But here I am, a more matured me, more leveled, more mannered, and understand life more than I have before. And I know the power of thoughts and the intentions we put behind them. And those intentions can be that is based on the will, or in an intention based on a feeling. And often when we are complaining, we put a lot of emotion power behind us complaining, as is in her case when she was talking about being late and how this, and she was going on and on. But I remember, so I had to I said, stop, my princess. We are not going to talk about being late. Instead, let's have a bubblegum mindset. Let's stretch our mindset beyond that which we can see and perceive something else that is of our own interest. So I told her, we have made on time. We're not going to have a discussions of being late or being delayed. What appears before us is just an appearance. We can either dwell on it and it will eat us alive, because we're going to continue to complain. We're not going to enjoy this journey. I'm going to drive you to school stressed out. And I was not about to do that because I have miles to run. So we changed the subject, and she had to breathe in and out. She calmed down and she focused on what she wanted to do while I stay on task on the road. And yes, traffic seems like it was on our way. Yes, traffic lights seems like they were not in our favor. And yes, the clock kept ticking. But somehow, in a way that I cannot explain, in a stretch that usually it's a most strenuous manner, things lighten up. It became easier. And I could see that the traffic was moving in a much smoother way. And few minutes later, we found ourselves in school just on time. It was not late. It was not delayed. We made it on time. Why this is important? One can say the traffic is not, maybe it was already planned, the traffic was already that way, all those stuff, and maybe we could have made it on time anyway. The key here is not whether we made on time or not. But the most important thing is, in our way to school, we were not stressed out. We were not overburdened. We didn't emit chemicals in our body that we don't want. Because if you know, when you are stressed out, when you're focused on something that is unpleasant, you're releasing in your body so many chemicals, serotonin, dopamine, and all these other chemicals are being released in your body. In moderate amount, they're fine. It's a balanced chemical body. But when there is excess of it, that's when other things start happening. You might blame on a sugar you put on your coffee or on your tea. You might blame on a salt that you put on your food. You might blame in everything else, but you don't understand is you have released so many of these chemicals that impact your health in so many ways, more severe than that sugar, more severe than that salt, more severe than that meat or beef you've been eating, more severe than that pork you've been running away from, more severe than all the other food you have labeled as bad and unhealthy. Those chemicals are more dangerous because automatically and immediately they impact the way you experience life. And for me and my princess being able to change the topic instead of focusing on whether we're going to be late, it was a perceived idea. There was no reality behind it. And even if we were late, it is not the end of the day or end of the world. A day will come and go and things will come back normal tomorrow. So why worry? Why stress out yourself? Because in doing so is not helping you in any manner or measure, but hurting you in a way that you cannot perceive without full understanding of what your body is doing in that state of mind. So today, as you look back, I encourage you, look back in your life. It's a purpose of measuring. If you can measure that where you are 5 years ago or 10 years ago and see yourself today, if there is no significant difference in how you handle things or how things comes to you, it's time to think of creating a moment that you say, I am going to change today. I am going to improve the way I think. I am going to improve the way I look at life so that 5 years later, I can look back at this moment and see that in 5 years, in 1 year, in 2 years, I have become a better person than the one I was before. So I challenge you and encourage you, share something memorable of the past. Laugh with yourself. But most important, measure your progress. And let this look back moment at a moment of reflection, a moment of wanting to create more. Today, I can say with confidence that I am not the same person I was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, because that person would have criticized, would have reacted to the situation instead of addressing or take control of the situation. And in controlling the situation, not controlling a person, controlling a situation by inserting a positive mindset, a bubblegum mindset, which you are stretching beyond what is real, what it appears to be, and give meaning that is different. And there I apply the 3 I's as I always talked about. First, I idealized, meaning that the situation was not conducive. To create an ideal situation, or ideal means take that which is broken or that is bent or blemished and make it whole, make it right. And how do you make it right? You cannot make right a late time, but you can make it right in your mind by not thinking that you're late. Because when you do that, you're changing your chemical compose. You're changing how your body responds to the situation. A thought, a feeling have an impact on your mind, and your mind have to create chemicals to create that. It creates these chemicals in an effort to protect you. But if an excess of that chemicals are created, guess what? It affects you. A little bit of a poison might not hurt you, but too much of that poison will hurt you significantly. A little bit of a salt, a little bit of a sugar, it's fine. Too much of it have significant impact in your life. So it's true about your chemicals, the chemicals in your body. And in this case, when you are allowing so much stuff coming in your mind, you're affecting your health, you're affecting your well-being. But by idealizing, it means you're changing how you think of the thing in your mind and create a whole situation. And there, the only whole situation is we were on time in school. So we're not going to focus on the traffic. We're not going to focus on what is apparently appearing before us. And number 2, we introduce that concept in our mind. So one, I identify the situation and say, I want to be on time. But then I am on time at school. And that's why I said, hold on, let's not have a conversation of being late. Because when you're saying I am late, you are introducing the idea of being late in your mind. If you're thinking that you're going to be late, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to be pleased. And therefore, your response will be different. And your body will create chemicals which will create an imbalance in your body, affecting the way you feel. That's why most of the time when you talk about something negative, your mood changes. Because guess what you've done? You have created a chemical imbalance. And that chemical imbalance affects how you feel. Suddenly you feel sluggish. You're not feeling happy. It is the chemicals that are being released in your body, with your body. So by introducing that we are on time and not focus on being late, it changes the perspective and how our body respond to it. The chemicals were created were more of pleasure. So there was a peace of mind. And by repeating the concept, which I call iterate, by iterating the idea that we are on time, and you do so that you don't focus on being late, because the traffic lights were not working on time. One time we got into a traffic light, there was so long of a line to turn on one left side. We had to go 3 rounds of that light for us to cross that light. And my mind wanted to go to, oh my God, look at this traffic light. But I said, nope, I am not going to focus on the traffic light. I am going to focus on what we've already agreed to be the case. The ideal that I created in mind, we're on time and everything has worked out. And that's how you do. So you apply the 3 I's in order to create an environment that is going to add a smile on your face and avoid to poison yourself with all those chemicals that you create. So let's look back. Share a moment in time as I have, where you can see and be able to say, you know what, back then, this is how I would have responded to. But today, I am a better person. I respond to this situation in a much more calmer, more structured manner. And that could be your story of a look back. It is Thursday Look Back. And or if you don't have any story you want to share us a picture with you, man. Don't be shy. Be courageous. Show us how you used to look at when you were young. And guess what? You might have grown in age, but still young in mind and feeling energetic. It's all about you and how you feel. If you want to feel old, I'm telling you, you're going to release chemicals in your body that are going to make you feel old. But if you want to feel young, you feel energetic, healthier, and focused, your body will create enough chemicals to create that balance in your brain will do that and create enough balance that you will feel as such. But it's a choice is yours. Let's have this Thursday look back with joy and laugh. Let's keep laughing because there is a wisdom in the laugh. There is a joy in the laugh. And there is true growth in the laugh. So let's laugh on this Thursday as we look back in the moment in time and be brave enough to share that moment with us. Until then, I'll be back. But before you go, subscribe, share, like, and comments are much, much, much welcomed.